My roommate said I didn't know real horror, so I showed her something that broke her completely. A few years ago, I lived with this roommate who was absolutely obsessed with horror movies. Her and her boyfriend were massive fans, with her favorite being House of a Thousand Corpses. They had this really annoying habit of quizzing people on their horror movie knowledge and gatekeeping who qualified as a true fan. After they interrogated me about what scary movies I'd seen, they decided I wasn't a real horror fan because I didn't appreciate the director's cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween remake. Apparently, not loving that specific film disqualified me from their exclusive horror club. I am a fan of horror, but I prefer horror comedies over pure gore-fest films. This preference led me to become a big fan of Justin Long, which becomes important later. Instead of arguing with them about what constitutes real horror, I decided to show them exactly what kind of horror fan I actually was. I invited my roommate, her boyfriend, and my then boyfriend over for a movie night. I told them I wanted to share one of my all-time favorite films with them, a little movie called Tusk from 2014. For context, I have yet to find anyone who enjoys Tusk the way I do. For most people, it's too graphic, disturbing, and downright weird to be entertaining. I personally find it absolutely hilarious, especially paired with its intentionally funny sequel Yoga Hosers. As soon as the movie started, I could tell this wasn't what they were expecting. While I was snuggled up on the couch giggling like a maniac and munching popcorn, all three of them were getting increasingly uncomfortable. Our boyfriends had to leave the room multiple times during particularly intense scenes. I kept cheerfully calling out things like, "Just wait, it's about to get really good," while they sat there in horror at what they were witnessing. The breaking point came during what fans of the movie know as the swimming scene. My roommate, who had been getting progressively more disturbed throughout the film, actually threw up. She ran to the bathroom and I could hear her retching while I continued watching and enjoying every minute. Meanwhile, I'm still on the couch having the time of my life, completely unbothered by the grotesque imagery that had sent everyone else fleeing. When she came back, pale and shaken, I suggested we watch the sequel to calm down, which somehow made everything worse. All three of them were absolutely horrified that me, a quiet part-time librarian, could not only tolerate but genuinely love such a depraved film. They kept staring at me like they were seeing me for the first time, probably wondering what kind of person finds walrus transformation body horror hilarious. She didn't speak to me for 3 days after that movie night. More importantly, she never brought up horror movies around me again or tried to quiz me on my genre knowledge. Apparently, traumatizing someone with a Kevin Smith fever dream is an effective way to end horror movie gatekeeping. The slight karma that came back to bite me was that my then boyfriend, now husband, absolutely refuses to rewatch Tusk with me. So while I successfully shut down her horror snobbery, I also lost my movie watching partner for one of my favorite films. But it was totally worth it to see the look on her face when she realized that the quiet librarian had way more tolerance for disturbing content than the self-proclaimed horror experts. Sometimes the best way to deal with gatekeepers is to show them there are levels of the hobby they're not prepared for. She learned that being a true horror fan isn't about memorizing director's cuts. It's about finding joy in the most twisted, bizarre content imaginable, while everyone around you questions your sanity.